Hello everyone, my name is Kevin and this is lab number 7 on Michelson interferometer applications. Alright, so the three parts we have for this lab are part A, which is calibrating the interferometer, part B, which is finding the wavelength of three different sources, the laser diode, mercury lamp, and a sodium doublet. And then for part C, we're going to be finding the bandwidth of the sodium doublet. Because it has two distinct wavelengths, we'll be able to find the width of these two wavelengths. So to calibrate the interferometer, here is our setup, and we are shining a known 632.8 Heaney laser into the interferometer. When we do this, we'll get an interference pattern, and as we cycle through the interference patterns, if we cycle through, say, 100, this is going to be the M2 minus M1, and then the mirror is going to move a certain distance, which is going to be the difference in the distances, and because we know lambda, we'll be able to find the calibration factor, which is how much the micrometer moves compared to how much the mirrors are actually moving. Here is one of the interference patterns that we're going to look at to do this. As we move the micrometer, which moves the mirror, we're going to see the fringes change from bright to dark, and the number of changes from bright to dark is going to be the M2 minus M1 factor in the previous equation. So the first one we do this for is going to be a laser diode. We do what we did in the first problem with the Heaney, which is we go through a certain number of fringes compared to a certain distance. For this one, we got 611 nanometers, and we also had to multiply by the calibration factor in order to obtain an accurate value. We then did this for the mercury lamp, which we got 542 nanometers, and then we also did this for the sodium doublet, which was found to have 558 nanometers. To find in part C the bandwidth of the sodium doublet, we use this equation, which is lambda squared over the distance of the source. For part C, we are finding the distance from a null fringe to another null fringe, and then dividing by 2, because in these cases, when the mirror moves a certain distance, we have to divide this distance by 2, because the optical path is being multiplied by 2. And then for the bandwidth, we found this to be 0.8 nanometers. There are certain errors in our calculations. This is mostly due to errors in us counting the number of fringes and finding the exact distances that the mirror moves.